Hey guys, this is Alex here. I'm going to be doing the presentation today on the Ruth Crawford Kaleidoscopic Changes on an Original Theme Ending with a Fugue, 1924. Just real quick, show you the score here. Okay, I'm still getting used to Zoom, as we all are. I think that's sharing screen. Just there's that for a sec. All right, so just a little background on Ruth Crawford. She was born July 3rd, 1901, up to 1953. She was an American modernist composer during the 20s and 30s, and just kind of listening to her music really kind of is cool because it takes all the, aspects of the fugues that we've been studying the last few terms and adds a whole other harmonic language. It's kind of completely, new. So, yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, it's kind of fun to brush up on my post-tonal theory, as Dr. Pack was mentioning in the first lecture. Before I play it and kind of go along, and I just wanted to give my kind of take on these first, motives. This is our subject that appears first in our top voice with a D flat, A flat, G flat, and B double flat. And those pitches represented in numbers would be 6, 8, 9, and 1. If you're thinking about C being 0 all the way up to B natural, or that note being 11. So, and here in this score, we have all these segments kind of already labeled for us, showing the prime forms, and everything that says T6 or T11 refers to how far that prime form has been transposed. So in this case, I've noted that since we're in T6, I found the number 6, which is G flat in this case, the 6th key. And then, that if anyone else didn't know how to determine what transposition it is, that's how you would, like here in the second voice, the second subject comes in the same note that defines this, defines what transposition it is at G flat. So our C natural here, C natural is 0. So this would be T0, the same exact prime form, just transposed, by 6. It's on the other side of the spectrum. So let's see here. So it's essentially a 3-voice fugue. It comes in a fifth apart in the second voice, A flat and D flat. But these starting points kind of represent what we're used to as a fugue. But everything in between, the harmonic language is kind of these little segments that cannot be thought of as tonal or not tonal. Kind of depends what your stance is. So I just wanted to point out a few more things. Let's see here. Oh yes, I just wanted to make a note of when the counter subject comes in here in the top voice. It's slightly different when it comes back in the alto, or I guess that's the tenor above the bass here. Bass comes in an octave lower than the soprano did. And then this is a tonal answer. So, some things like this F flat would, that was a tonal adjustment compared to the B double flat. So it stays within the key of this D flat-ish kind of world. Let's see. Kind of fun doing this on my computer. So here, also kind of interesting doing a presentation that's kind of like an exercise too. You can get it wrong and then present it. So, but anyways, here's what I tried to do here. It says write a partial entry in the left hand based on the harmony, and you know, I assume that this G was kind of a suspension. It was really D, F, A was the triad in mind there. So in this case, we have our same, you know, 0, 2, 3, 7 prime form little segment here, and that could be defined as T6 with the G flat, and that just being, you know, if you were to arrange the intervals from smallest increment to largest increment, you always want to space the largest increment at the top or the right, and then the smallest increment at the bottom. So even though in this case, even though the 2 and the 3 is a space of 1, the space of 3 to 7 is greater than the space of 0 to 2. So you know, your first instinct would try to be to put the 1 over the space of 1 as far over to the left as you can. But the main objective is to always have the largest gap on the very right. So that's why we have to call it 0, 2, 3, 7. Okay, so you know, I didn't get to exactly everything finishing here, so I was just going to play along. Hopefully we can hear, and I think point out a few things as we go. Very groovy piece. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.